Welcome back to Battle of Champions, coming to you live from down under in Australia, from Adelaide, the venue of the second semi-final between India and England. We've already had the first semi-final decided. Pakistan cruising through, beating New Zealand to reach their third T20 World Cup semi-final. Will it be a dream India-Pakistan final? That's what we're building up to. But for the moment, we're going to focus on the India-England game. We heard from Harbhajan Sahibhai a little while earlier, and he said that maybe earlier you could have looked at changes, maybe not now. But you reckon India is going to look at a few changes?
Well, I think what we have seen with the Indian team is they've not really made too many changes, and which is the way to go. You might maybe want to change one player here and there, but you don't want wholesale changes. They brought in Pant instead of Dinesh Karthik for the last match, so I think it was not just because Dinesh Karthik wasn't batting the usual runs, but also because his wicket keeping was just not quite up to the high standards that he's set over the so many years. So I think you could actually, if there's a change, you could actually have somebody like Harshal Patel replacing an Akshar Patel, and India going to that template, of four fast bowlers, Hardik Pandya fifth, and Ashwin as the sixth bowling option.
Okay, what about you, Pragyan? What do you reckon? What could be the changes that India could go with?
Uh, I see. I have always spoken about UZCL. I still believe that he is a guy who can be very, very handy. And when you talk about him not playing since the World Cup has started, I think that is not a big concern because he's been there, he's done that, he knows exactly what is expected out of him, and he has a temperament of coming in and delivering in crunch games. Maybe somehow if he gets a game, it'll be very important, especially against a team like England, because they've always struggled against wrist spinners with those variations. And when you look at their batsmen, when they're going hard at the bowlers, wrist spinners are more suitable for picking wickets because they've got that natural variation. And in Australia, we've seen even in this tournament, we've seen leg spinners have always delivered. So I still believe that UZCL can add that very important aspect to that middle over, and maybe he can be a game changer.
Hmm. Okay, interesting point that Pragyan talks about, that leg spinners have troubled the English batsmen. Yuzi Chahal, we know, is a certified wicket taker. He's done it year after year in the IPL as well. So T20 format kind of suits him. The explanation we got from the team management at the time that they'd picked Ashwin ahead of Yuzi Chahal, and they said it wasn't just because it was left-handers, it was also because he gives some sort of cushion as a batsman, and they needed some sort of batting at number 8, and Bhuvi not being at his best in batting, they needed an Ashwin. You suggest another change, which was interesting. You say that, listen, go with a Harshal Patel. He comes in. Harshal also kind of gives you that batting. Would that allow Yuzi Chahal to then come in?
No, I don't think so, because you don't want to add, because if you add Harshal Patel in place of Akshar Patel, that's the only change you would make then. Then you bring in UZCL, you're again making.
So Ashwin goes to 7 there.
Yeah, Ashwin goes to 7. The other option that they could look at is because to add a little more depth to the batting, is to pick both the wicket keepers.
Yeah.
Both the wicket keepers, Pant at 6 or Pant at 5, 6, Hardik Pandya, 7 Dinesh Karthik, 8 Ashwin, and Hardik Pandya then becomes your fifth bowler. He's been bowling well, and he's been, it's a 4-over situation. I would, that is something, that's an option also you would look at. My feeling is that they will not make a change. My feeling is that they'll go with the same team that beat
Akshar included.
Yeah, Akshar the other day against Zimbabwe. My feeling is that they'll stick to the same team. And again, I think it's like literally between, say, 19-20 ki baat hai. So whether you pick Akshar or you pick Harshal or you pick Dinesh Karthik.
Now, the 19-20 makes a huge difference in a T20 game, because 19-20 is what we've been winning by in those crucial games against Bangladesh as well as Pakistan, and which is why India is to the semi-final. But your thoughts on that, Pragyan, as Sanibhai points out, and why I find that very interesting is because I'm talking about the two wicket keepers, both of them playing. Why I find that very interesting, because Rohit Sharma was asked about that, and he said that, listen, we played Pant because we had in mind the English spinners that will be bowling in the middle overs. We needed a left-hander to tackle someone like an Adil Rashid. So Pant was played in the Zimbabwe game. Dinesh Karthik also, gives you that impetus towards the end. How about playing both of them, because Rohit points out that more often than not, I've not been able to bowl both my spinners because Hardik bowls those 4 overs.
See, I would definitely agree with that. What Sunny sir said, that that's a very good option. But if you when you're looking for that option, you should have a bowler who can pick wickets in the middle. Then UZ becomes even more important in that lineup, because when you're going with five bowlers, you need someone who can deliver in the middle over. So if that combination you go for, then UZCL becomes very very crucial, because he will add that value. But saying that, I think, as if you look at to the practicality of the situation, I think less changes will be very important. None of the teams would like to make too many changes, because they are going to play the semifinals, and maybe one change, maybe maximum, just to balance out their team. Saying that, but what sir has given that option is a very good option. But when you go with that option, you need to have a spinner who can pick wickets, and give you that cushion when you're having only five bowlers.
Okay, what Pragyan is actually adding on to what Saniva is saying, that okay, play both the wicket keepers, great, but then bring in a spinner like UZ Chahal, because then you get cushion of your batting. Bring in a spinner like UZ Chahal who'll get you that wicket. Again, plenty for the Indian team to think about, but as Saniva said, it's the 19-20 ka farak, 19-20, very close. Anything you go with could really work for you, may not work for you as well. But let's see what the Indian captain Rohit Sharma decides to do. Meanwhile, the Indian team were out to practice, so was the English team. They spent a lot of time in the nets in Adelaide working on a few little things. Here's a detailed ground report on that. Matchday -1, and the Indian team was out in full strength at the Adelaide Oval, practicing ahead of that crucial semi-final versus England. So here's the report of what really transpired on the practice session. Virat Kohli was hard at work, spent a maximum amount of time batted against different type of bowling, firstly against throwdowns, then against some fast bowlers, and then against spinners too. So he put in the hard yards. He had skipped the optional practice yesterday. As far as skipper Rohit Sharma is concerned, he did come for practice, but he did not bat in the nets. But remember, he and Hardik Pandya were out yesterday batting, so today they chose not to bat, and Hardik wasn't even there at the practice session. The one batsman who everyone was looking very closely was Rishabh Pant. There is still a debate between Pant and Dinesh Karthik, and it does seem like that Rishabh Pant may have still nicked it, and he may play that game versus England because of the fact that he's a left-hander, and against a spinner like Adil Rashid, they would need someone like a Rishabh Pant to attack. The one bowler that looked the most menacing in the net practice was Harshal Patel. He was bowling mighty quick in the nets, hasn't played a game for India so far in the tournament. Whether he'll come into the 11, that seems unlikely still at the moment, but looked very dangerous. In fact, even hit Virat Kohli while he was batting, and Virat Kohli went down in his haunches for a brief while, but then got up, nothing to worry about, and then went on to bat. The other debate is about the spinners. Will two spinners play? Only one spinner? If there are two spinners, who are going to be those two spinners? Well, let me tell you, all the spinners were out bowling today. Akshar Patel was bowling, Ravichandran Ashwin was bowling, and so was Yuzi Chahal, bowling a lot in the nets. In fact, Deepak Hooda was also spotted bowling a lot and spent a lot of time batting. Whether he comes in like they did in the game versus South Africa, we'll have to wait and watch. But Yuzi Chahal coming in, many said that against England you might need to go with a leg spinner, but seems unlikely that the Indian team is going to make too many changes. Okay, it's late at night here in Adelaide. Few hours to go before that crucial India versus England encounter. Still with us are three analysts in Pragyan Oja, Harbhajan Singh and Sunny Gavaskar. Let me go to Harbhajan on this one. Harbhajan, set this game for us now. We keep talking about, what is working in England's favour, what is working in India's favour. But there are a lot of mini battles within the larger context. Just talk us about those small little battles that might take place in the contest.
India versus England, of course, it's a big game. It'll come down to the nerves. Both the teams have quality players, and England, they know this format, how to be played, won. And of course, the weak link of England, where I feel, is their bowling lineup. Indian team, looks very good. If you see the bowling lineup and the batting lineup, both look really good. And I think uh, teams who are batting second at Adelaide will have better chance to win, because England, they have their batting strong, and so is India. I think India do have their fast bowling, which is very, very good. The spinners are a bit concerned. Spinners wise, I think India is still little concerned that Indian spinners have not done as well as the Pakistani spinners or the other spinners have done well in Australia. But yes, looking at both the team, I think it's a heavyweight competition, and team which will keep their nerves under control, they'll go on to win.
Other than that, Sunny, the report that we just presented from here, both David Malan, Mark Wood, we were observing them very closely. Seems unlikely that they'll be fit enough. David Malan in his fitness test was running very gingerly. Then we saw Mark Wood, who pulled up because of his stiffness, barely bowled 12 balls in the net session and then went off. And that too was bowling from a very short run up. If they were not to play, as the signs suggest, would it be a major blow to England?
It'll be. Particularly Mark Wood's absence will definitely make a difference, because we've seen that the Indians against quick bowling, against South Africa, they've had a bit of a problem, and Mark Wood is quick. So that will certainly be a big plus. David Malan has not probably got the opportunities that he should have got. He's been shunted up and down the order. That never helps. But yes, I think Mark Wood's absence will certainly suit the Indians a lot more.
Harbhajan, would you reckon India would now look to chase against England if they win the toss, especially after the result that we've seen? It was a knockout game in the other semi-final, Pakistan versus New Zealand. And even though the stats there were stacked against the team that was chasing, because majority of the times team batting first were winning there, yet Pakistan ended up chasing a total. In T20 cricket in general, Harbhajan, we've seen India do very well when they're chasing. Should that be the strategy then in the semis?
Well, it could be, because I believe whatever we heard about the pitch, it's a belter where batsmen will enjoy. And Adelaide is obviously a very happy hunting ground for Virat Kohli and also for Team India for many years. And I feel that they have to play the best cricket they are known for, and whether they field first or of course if they bat first, it doesn't matter. In the end, you have to play the best cricket you are known for, and that's what I expect from India to do that. And yes, maybe both the team will look to chase. This is what I feel.
On the subject of whether India should be chasing, Pragyan, the one thing that we've also learnt is that the match will be played on a used pitch. It's the same pitch where you saw the last few matches also being played. Twofold question to you, Pragyan. Firstly, are you a bit surprised that a big game like the semi is being played on a used pitch? Or do you reckon no, just like 20 odd over games really don't do too much harm to these pitches, and with not much wear and tear, it's really not a bad idea playing on a used pitch?
First of all, I think when you're playing semi-finals or any important game, it has to be a good wicket. T20 cricket is defined by, a wicket where it really, really helps you, have a fair play. And when the wickets are little slow, or maybe there is some wear and tear, that I believe that could have been done in league phases. But when you talk about semi-finals and finals, it would have been fresh wickets where none of the team have little bit of advantage. Today we saw there was a little bit of advantage for Pakistan, because they are used to such wickets. When you talk about New Zealand, maybe their bowlers looked unsettled because the wicket wasn't helping them that much. That is the reason I said you have to play on good wickets, which actually creates the balance. It doesn't favor one skill. Saying that, I was just listening to what Sunny sir said, what Bhajupa said. I believe in a crucial game, especially against a team like England, if the wicket has some wear and tear, if you bat first, it really, really helps you, because once you put that score, you can push yourself hard when you're batting first. You don't have that pressure of the scoreboard. And once you put that, and with the inconsistency with the England batting lineup, you can maybe crack their batting lineup with a little bit of extra pressure on them, maybe they can feel unsettled. So that is what something you should see. That is the reason why I said if it was a fresh wicket, it would have been in a different call. But when you
Okay.
talk about used wicket, it will be a different call.
So anyway, you solved this puzzle for me. One, first, the same question. Are you surprised that a used wicket is being used for a semi-final? And secondly, the point that Pragyan made, on a big game, used wicket, bat first, that'd be a safer option.
First and foremost, I'm surprised that it's a used wicket, excepting if it's a centre wicket. If it's a centre wicket, then one can understand them playing it on the same one. But otherwise, for a big game like a semi-final, it has to be a new pitch, a fresh pitch. But like I said, because the centre wicket means the boundaries on either side will be even. That said, if it's going to be on a used surface, irrespective of what your strength of your team is, India's strength is chasing. India's strength is not defending. With the greatest of respect to our bowlers and they've done a fantastic job. I still feel in a crunch game, knockout game, I think India should be chasing.
Okay. Sunny Gavaskar, Pragyan Oja, Harbhajan Singh, thanks so much for taking our time, helping us build up to that big encounter, India-England. We'll, of course, keep bringing you all the latest updates from here in Australia. Today as well, we were coming to you live from here. But the one man that we didn't get a chance to speak on in this entire show has been the man in form. His name is Surya Kumar Yadav, and I think Rohit Sharma summed it best in the press conference when he was asked about Surya Kumar Yadav. He said, in his case, sky is indeed the